Have you ever wondered why someone keeps appearing in your thoughts, even after silence has taken over? What if the person you're thinking about is fighting an emotional battle right now, desperately trying to tell you something that could change everything between you? Today, we're uncovering the hidden message buried beneath their silence, their strange behavior, and the signals they've been sending without realizing it. By the end of this video, you'll understand what they wish they could say, and why they haven't said it yet. Before we continue, take a moment to share your experience in the comments. Have you ever sensed that someone was trying to tell you something without actually saying it? Write, "I see the signs," if you felt this connection. And if you're enjoying this journey into the hidden language of human emotions, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more insights. The message they are trying to communicate does not begin with words. In fact, words may be the very thing they are avoiding. What they are carrying inside is too emotionally charged, too vulnerable, or too complicated to express directly. So instead of speaking, they begin communicating through silence, timing, and behavior. This is why you may feel that something is happening beneath the surface, even when nothing obvious is being said. Many people assume silence means absence of feeling, but silence often appears when feelings become overwhelming. A person who fears being misunderstood, rejected, or exposed may choose quietness over risk. Yet emotions do not disappear simply because they are hidden. They seek another path. They emerge in lingering glances, unexpected messages, sudden appearances, or moments when someone seems close one day and distant the next. Their actions become a language of their own. What makes this even more powerful is that the unconscious mind often reveals what the conscious mind is trying to suppress. A person may tell themselves not to care, not to reach out, or not to think about you, but their behavior keeps betraying the truth. They find reasons to stay connected to your world. They pay attention to details about your life. They react emotionally to changes involving you. The real message hidden inside their silence is often simple. They feel more than they are willing to admit, and what remains unspoken continues to shape every choice they make around you today. When someone is unable or unwilling to express their true feelings, their behavior often becomes the clearest window into their emotional world. People can carefully choose their words, but their actions frequently reveal what they are struggling to hide. This is why paying attention to patterns matters far more than focusing on isolated moments. A person's behavior tells a story, and that story often contains the truth they cannot bring themselves to say aloud. You may notice contradictions in the way they act. One moment they seem distant, and the next they are finding reasons to reconnect. They may hesitate to start a conversation, yet respond instantly when you reach out. They may pretend to be unaffected while quietly paying attention to every change in your life. These mixed signals are often signs of an inner conflict. Part of them wants to move closer, while another part fears what might happen if they do. Emotions that remain hidden rarely stay still. They create tension beneath the surface, influencing choices in subtle ways. A person who deeply cares may become unusually protective, curious, or emotionally reactive. They may remember small details about you that others forget. They may show concern when you are struggling, or become unsettled when they feel you pulling away. What they are revealing through these actions is not always intentional. Their behavior becomes an unconscious confession. Even when they remain silent, their choices repeatedly point toward the same truth. You occupy a significant place in their thoughts, and their feelings continue to influence the way they respond to your presence. One of the strongest forces preventing someone from expressing their true feelings is the fear of rejection. This fear runs deeper than simple embarrassment. For many people, opening their heart feels like stepping into uncertainty without any guarantee of being accepted. The possibility of hearing no, being misunderstood, or losing the connection they already have can feel so threatening that they choose silence instead. As a result, what they desperately want to say remains trapped behind emotional walls they have spent years building. The strange thing about fear is that it does not erase feelings. It only changes how those feelings are expressed. A person may care deeply about you, think about you constantly, and imagine countless conversations in their mind, yet never gather the courage to reveal what is truly happening inside. Every time they consider being honest, their mind presents worst-case scenarios. They imagine rejection, disappointment, or emotional pain. Eventually, protecting themselves begins to feel safer than speaking the truth. This creates a frustrating inner struggle. Part of them longs for closeness and understanding, while another part urges caution and self-protection. You may see signs of this conflict in their behavior. They move closer, then pull away. They show interest, then suddenly become quiet. They seem ready to open up, only to retreat at the last moment. What appears confusing from the outside often makes perfect sense from within. Their silence is not always a lack of feeling. Sometimes it is evidence of feelings so significant that they are terrified of what could happen if those feelings are finally revealed. There are moments when a person wants to be understood without having to expose their deepest emotions directly. Instead of clearly stating what they feel, they begin leaving clues, hoping that you will notice what lies beneath the surface. This is not always a conscious strategy. Often, it is the result of an internal conflict between the desire to be seen and the fear of becoming vulnerable. They want the truth to reach you, but they want it to arrive safely, without risking complete emotional exposure. This is why their communication may seem indirect. Rather than expressing exactly what is on their mind, they drop subtle hints through conversations, gestures, and unexpected actions. They may bring up meaningful memories, reference shared experiences, or create opportunities to remain connected. On the surface, these moments appear ordinary, but underneath them exists a deeper intention. They are quietly asking a question without speaking it aloud. Do you see what I am trying to tell you? The human mind often seeks confirmation before taking emotional risks. If they sense understanding, acceptance, or warmth from you, they may feel safer revealing more. If they sense uncertainty, they may retreat and continue speaking through signs instead of direct words. This creates a situation where the message remains hidden in plain sight. What makes these clues so powerful is that they are rarely random. They tend to repeat themselves in different forms. The same emotions continue finding ways to emerge. Their hope is not necessarily that you will solve a mystery, but that you will recognize the feeling behind their actions and understand the truth they have been carrying within for far longer than they admit. There are moments when a person wants to be understood without having to expose their deepest emotions directly. Instead of clearly stating what they feel, they begin leaving clues, hoping that you will notice what lies beneath the surface. This is not always a conscious strategy. Often, it is the result of an internal conflict between the desire to be seen and the fear of becoming vulnerable. They want the truth to reach you, but they want it to arrive safely, without risking complete emotional exposure. This is why their communication may seem indirect. Rather than expressing exactly what is on their mind, they drop subtle hints through conversations, gestures, and unexpected actions. They may bring up meaningful memories, reference shared experiences, or create opportunities to remain connected. On the surface, these moments appear ordinary, but underneath them exists a deeper intention. They are quietly asking a question without speaking it aloud. Do you see what I am trying to tell you? The human mind often seeks confirmation before taking emotional risks. If they sense understanding, acceptance, or warmth from you, they may feel safer revealing more. If they sense uncertainty, they may retreat and continue speaking through signs instead of direct words. This creates a situation where the message remains hidden in plain sight. What makes these clues so powerful is that they are rarely random. They tend to repeat themselves in different forms. The same emotions continue finding ways to emerge. Their hope is not necessarily that you will solve a mystery, but that you will recognize the feeling behind their actions and understand the truth they have been carrying within for far longer than they admit. There are emotions that fade with time, and then there are emotions that remain unfinished. These unresolved feelings continue living beneath the surface long after a person believes they have moved on. When someone has something important left unsaid, an unanswered question, or a connection that never reached its natural conclusion, the mind rarely finds complete peace. Instead, it returns to the same thoughts again and again, searching for clarity, closure, or another chance to understand what was lost. This is the inner conflict your person may be experiencing right now. Part of them wants to leave the past behind and protect themselves from emotional discomfort. Another part refuses to let go because something still feels incomplete. The result is a constant push and pull inside them. They may try to distract themselves, focus on other priorities, or convince themselves that the situation no longer matters. Yet certain memories, emotions, and unanswered feelings continue resurfacing. You might notice the effects of this struggle in the way they behave. They seem unable to fully move forward, even when they appear to be doing so. They revisit old conversations in their mind, reflect on choices they made, and wonder how things might have unfolded differently. Small reminders of you can trigger emotions they thought had disappeared. The deeper reason for this conflict is that unfinished emotions seek resolution. The heart naturally wants understanding and completion. Until that happens, the emotional energy remains active, influencing thoughts, decisions, and reactions. What they are desperately trying to tell you may not simply be about their feelings today. It may be about everything they never had the courage, opportunity, or clarity to express before. Distance has a strange way of revealing truths that closeness often hides. When someone sees you every day or knows they can reach you whenever they want, they may take your presence for granted without realizing it. Your value becomes woven into the routine of their life, so naturally available that they stop noticing how much it means to them. But when that connection changes, when the conversations become less frequent, the contact fades, or the emotional distance grows, something powerful begins to happen inside them. Without your regular presence, they are forced to experience the space you once filled. The moments they used to share with you become memories rather than realities. The comfort, familiarity, and emotional connection they once relied on are no longer easily accessible. This absence creates awareness. Suddenly, they begin noticing what was always there but never fully appreciated. The things they overlooked become the very things they miss the most. As this realization grows, so does their emotional struggle. They may find themselves thinking about you at unexpected times, replaying conversations, remembering details, and wondering how things reached this point. What once seemed ordinary now carries a deeper significance. The distance acts like a mirror, reflecting the true importance of the connection back to them. This realization is rarely comfortable. It often brings regret, longing, and a desire to reconnect. They may begin questioning choices they made or opportunities they allowed to pass. The message they are desperately trying to communicate is not merely that they miss you. It is that your absence has revealed your true value, and they now understand something they could not fully see while you were still close. One of the most intense emotional battles a person can experience is the struggle between pride and vulnerability. Deep inside, they may know exactly what they want to say. They may understand their feelings clearly and feel a strong urge to express them. Yet another part of them resists. Pride steps in as a protective force, warning them not to reveal too much, not to appear weak, and not to risk losing control of the situation. As a result, they become trapped between two opposing desires. Vulnerability asks them to be honest. It encourages them to open their heart, admit what they feel, and allow themselves to be truly seen. Pride, however, fears the consequences of such openness. It reminds them of past disappointments, moments of rejection, and situations where trust led to pain. Because of this, they hesitate. They rehearse conversations in their mind but never speak them. They reach for connection emotionally, then pull back before taking the final step. This inner conflict often creates confusing behavior. At times, they appear confident and unaffected, as though nothing is troubling them. At other moments, small cracks begin to appear in that image. Their emotions leak through unexpected actions, subtle expressions, or brief moments of honesty that quickly disappear. The stronger their feelings become, the harder it becomes to maintain the protective mask. What makes this struggle so powerful is that neither side fully wins. Pride prevents complete openness, while vulnerability refuses to remain silent. The result is an emotional tension that continues growing over time. The message they are desperately trying to communicate is caught in the middle, waiting for the moment when courage becomes stronger than fear and authenticity becomes more important than self-protection. There comes a point when a hidden truth can no longer remain buried. No matter how carefully someone tries to suppress their feelings, avoid difficult conversations, or maintain emotional distance, the truth continues gathering strength beneath the surface. What begins as a private thought slowly becomes an emotional weight that demands recognition. This is where your person may find themselves now, standing on the edge of a revelation they can no longer comfortably ignore. For a long time, they may have convinced themselves that silence was the safest option. They may have believed that keeping their feelings hidden would protect them from uncertainty, rejection, or emotional discomfort. Yet every unspoken emotion carries energy. The more it is avoided, the more pressure it creates. Eventually, maintaining the secret becomes harder than confronting it. The truth begins finding ways to emerge through actions, reactions, and moments of unexpected honesty. You may already be noticing signs of this shift. Their behavior may seem more emotional, more intentional, or more focused on reconnecting. They may appear restless, as though they are carrying something important that wants to be expressed. This often happens when a person reaches the limit of what they can keep hidden. The emotional tension becomes impossible to ignore. What makes this moment significant is that it represents a turning point. They are no longer simply managing their feelings, they are being changed by them. The truth they have been carrying is moving closer to the surface with each passing day. Whether it arrives through words, actions, or a heartfelt confession, the message is approaching a moment of release, and once it emerges, neither of you will see the connection in quite the same way again. As we reach the end of this journey, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The most important messages are not always spoken aloud. Sometimes they exist in the spaces between words, hidden within actions, silences, memories, and moments that seem ordinary on the surface. Your person may be carrying feelings they have struggled to understand, let alone express. Fear, pride, uncertainty, and unfinished emotions have created barriers, but those barriers cannot completely silence what the heart continues to feel. The signs we explored today all point toward the same reality. Their silence may not be emptiness, their distance may not be indifference, their contradictions may not be confusion. Instead, these behaviors may be evidence of an inner struggle between what they want to say and what they are afraid to reveal. The deeper the feeling, the harder it often becomes to put into words. Remember, however, that true understanding comes from observation, patience, and emotional wisdom. Do not chase every sign or force every answer. Some truths reveal themselves naturally when the time is right. What matters most is remaining grounded in your own worth while allowing life to unfold as it should. If this person is truly trying to tell you something, the message will continue finding ways to surface. Authentic emotions have a remarkable way of seeking expression, and when the moment finally arrives, you may discover that what they have been trying to say all along is far simpler than you imagined. That your presence has touched their life more deeply than they ever found the courage to admit.